Seldom Sene stands for seldom seen and seldom heard music, also with a quality that you don't see so often. So we really want to make music at the highest level.
One of our first pieces was In Nomine by Christopher Tye.
A Renaissance composer, and that's where we took the name from. It's a very special piece.
And we thought, yeah, that's actually the idea of our group. We want to do something that you don't see very often and that you don't hear very often.
With our historical performance practice, we want to combine this with a new thought. We want to think progressive.
We try to play the music in a historical context as well, but we try to do it in a modern way.
We wanted to show the best we got, actually, the best performances that we can give. Seldom Sene Recorder Quintet won a prize, or actually 3 prizes during a competition last year. That was the International Van Wassenaar competition for early music ensembles. We won the overall competition with the first prize, but we also got the audience award, and we were also lucky to get the press prize. And with this press prize we saw an amazing opportunity to show people what we can do with our instruments.
The melody, which was called La España, is performed by one of the 5 voices, and the rest are in principle improvising lines around it. So this was a common practice back then, and you could compare it to what jazz musicians do nowadays. It's not entirely clear if it was Josquin des Prez or not. Most likely not, but in the past people liked to label music as being by him because he was very famous, he was the best. It for sure has the ingenuity and the fantastic architecture that he is famous for.
I've been born in Germany and I moved like 16 years ago to Amsterdam to become a professional recorder player.
I was asked who wants to play the recorder after the kindergarten, and I immediately raised my hand, and I probably was just curious and wanted to play that instrument. And then, yeah, maybe I was captured by the sound and or by the music in general, and that's why I kept on playing and playing.
We played together in a big ensemble called the Royal Wind Music, and we all liked playing together so much that we decided to create a quintet.
We immediately had a really great click together, so it worked.
From the first few rehearsals it was clear that this is where we want to go.
We are all very different individuals, which makes the group interesting. We very often don't agree immediately, and that means you have to discuss and work on things until everybody's convinced, but then it's really strong. You can stand strong.
I had that at a very early age, actually. I think even when I was just a beginner and I was 6 or 7 years old, the instruments felt so friendly in my hands, and it always went with so much ease that I had the idea very early in my head, of course, very naive as you are as a child, that this is what I want to do when I grow up.
I started a recorder when I was 10 years old, and I actually immediately fell in love with the instrument, and that was because of Frans Brugge. I had some records from him, and I was playing this all the time.
He turned the recorder again into a proper instrument. He achieved an incredibly high level, and he was very inspiring to all kinds of people all over the world, and I was one of them.
Ave Regina Celorum is a Spanish Renaissance motet by Thomas Luis de Victoria. It's a very bright piece, and for me it's really like a cheerful conversation between 5 voices that sometimes go hand in hand in pairs or imitate each other. We try to give a special touch to every piece already by playing it by heart. Then we can internalize the text especially and the music much more. With this we try to express the text and the emotions of the text especially.
We started as a Renaissance concert because that was a style we had a lot of common experience, but quite quickly we grew out of it by adding more and more styles around. So we tried the Baroque, we arranged pieces by Bach. We went into the modern times, we asked composers to write for us. That was a very important step to get our own repertoire nobody else is playing. In every concert I think there are quite some unexpected moments, yeah, and that's what we're looking for.
If people come to one of our concerts, they can expect a lot of instruments, so a big variety of recorders. They can also expect a big variety of music. Very often we play mixed programs with music from the Middle Ages, the Renaissance to our own times. And they can expect very big contrasts and a wide range of emotions and colors in the music.
It's a very old melody. We know it from Bach and even before. There is a deep need and a deep urgency, but there's also hope and relief. What I like a lot about playing these kind of arrangements is that you split the music that's usually played by one player. One organ player does all the notes, all the different voices. And we split this now over 5 people, which means that you play your own line, but you really are part of like one organism. And for us it gives us a lot of freedom to just focus on the music and the sound and to look into our instrument collection, which instruments can imitate the organ sound.
My favorite instrument, that question is very difficult to answer. There are a lot of instruments that I really like, and that maybe depends also on the day and the acoustic of the place we play.
I think I like tenor instruments a lot, this size. For me it feels really natural, really normal, and I think I can shape the sound in an optimum way in that instrument.
We think they're all fantastic, so I think it's really impossible to answer. I am very fond of all of the larger recorders, although I am a small person. But on the other hand, I also love, for example, playing the Renaissance descant or soprano recorder, which is a very delicate instrument, very small.
The collection consists of 3 different types. We have the Renaissance recorders. There we even have 2 concerts, so 2 sets of instruments that are really meant to be played together. Then we have a lot of Baroque instruments and modern instruments, the so-called Petzold recorders that also are played in one of the videos that we did in the past days.
These instruments are very interesting because they are actually kind of organ pipes, square organ pipes with keys. And for us it makes us possible to get to play low registers in a quite virtuosic way and to imitate also the sound of an organ quite closely.
Was an Englishman from the Renaissance period in the 16th century. And he was also an organist. And the piece that we chose to perform from him is a very delicate and intimate piece. And we want to show the warm sounds that we produce with the larger Renaissance instruments.
Well, at the moment it's going extremely well. We have a lot of concerts, playing in great festivals. Yeah, I hope that we can do many more and play actually maybe outside of Europe as well, in Asia or the US.
I think in 5 years we can reach a larger audience and to get more known to people who maybe don't go to a recorder concert in the first place. I think that would be our greatest achievement if we can get listeners to our concerts who maybe usually go to a different kind of concert, but to say like, hey, this quintet is different from what I've heard before and I want to see them live.
I think in 5 years our quintet can be standing often in very good venues. We already have that a little bit, and I hope it's going to continue in the same way, that we keep growing, we keep improving and growing together, and we get more and more concerts and we reach more and more people.